Yesterday, Gearbox had a PAX West panel and they went over some stuff, I guess. I don't know. We did get a few tidbits of information that's pretty cool here and there, and I'm going to cover those in this, but I want to kind of show some of the highlights, if you want to call them that, of the panel so you guys can get an idea in case you missed the panel as it happened. But at the end, I'm going to go over the highlights of the things that we learned from this and talk about how that's important to the future of the franchise. So be sure to stick around for that. So let's dive in to PAX West.
I want to welcome to the stage Bruno Fontanetti from the Risk of Rain team. Bruno, come on out.
Oh man, I hope he's gonna say that they're fixing Risk of Rain too, because there's some problems.
How you doing, my friend?
Jesus Christ! What the hell happened? It got really loud. Ah! I'm dying. Oh shit! You heard one person clapping. Dude, I love Risk of Rain 2. It's just they broke it with the latest update.
Been working really hard on patches and to address all the feedback that we've been getting out there. More patches and information will be coming out soon.
Please welcome to the stage Erica Hollinshead, director of Fringe.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Oh shit! Is there really a body pillow? Whoa, what the hell? They're in the Matrix.
Would you say that you guys are all big Borderlands fans? A little bit, little bit. Are you dedicated to this community? Dedicated.
They're like, wait. They're like, wait. I don't know about the community now.
Well,
I don't know about that community though.
Nothing? Nothing at all.
I don't know about that community.
More moments later.
Number 19. Who's got a number 19? Come on down. Okay.
You see the guy in the crowd who's like,
for this,
you know, this whole thing would go over so much better if they led with what we wanted to see. Please run ads.
we go to that other place.
That got me good right there, man.
Okay.
That got me good right there.
Now.
You know it's bad when chat asks you to run ads, dude.
And our local
You see that kid in the front row like this? I feel that kid.
Hey, listen!
That timing was great.
Randy Pitchford invited me to be here, a part of the Gearbox team about 2 years ago. And on my first day of work, he sat me down and showed me Borderlands 4. You can't ask for a better first day of work. And I've been playing it pretty much every day since then, and it keeps getting better and better. And we're going to show you a little bit of stuff too, not from in the game itself, but you'll see some stuff.
Has anyone played Borderlands 3?
No.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? The climactic events in which the moon of Elpis was going to destroy the planet Pandora. And our hero Lilith, a siren who is able to teleport using phase walk, sacrifices herself in order to teleport away the entire moon of Elpis. That happens mere seconds before what we see behind us here.
You wonder where the moon went?
There it is.
It went somewhere.
Somewhere.
In the 6 galaxies.
Same universe.
Same universe. Patch of space that no one's seen in a long, long time, and there's a reason for that. We see the moon collide with this cloaking veil that is obscuring.
There we go.
And what we see next tells us a little bit about what's going on in that planet.
First, this planet is hidden from the universe.
Completely. Hasn't been seen in ages.
There's kind of a raining effect, meteors coming in. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, there's a reason everything's in the trailer, right? You know, Elpis shows up here.
I think the meteors are people.
It rains down these meteors on the planet.
I think one of them's Pickle.
We wanted to have spectacle and, you know, effects and audio go on and really try to give people a little insight to this new world, this new undisclosed planet, and how this source of chaos arrives here when this big moment happens, how disruptive it is to this planet and to what it's doing. And so as much as it's about continuing Borderlands as it exists, there's lots of things that don't make it, and we kind of want to throw those back on the boards to kind of re-examine, like, that idea that we didn't have time for, how could we bring that to the forefront and actually invest in it? So we've got some great stuff that we've thought about for years at this point that we're actually executing this time around.
Yeah, maybe this will be the Borderlands that the left-handed guns finally make it.
Not this
I wouldn't count on that one per se, but there's some other stuff, I promise.
We care a lot about what the fans say. I was the head of DLC. He was the creative director over DLC work. And so like we were always listening to you guys and trying to engage and see like what are those things that we can do to make those better.
We get some very clear and direct feedback, and it's part of our job to read it all. I promise you, we have gotten some very clear messaging from the community. And you know, we're very fortunate to have the community that we do have, that you guys
Say the words.
are passionate enough to give us feedback. So we'll make sure everyone knows that's not lost on us. And we do watch our socials, we watch you know, forums and whatnot, and I try to keep as much as what we have in mind and the goals that we want to accomplish as entertainers, also make sure that we're meeting our community and meeting their expectations for what makes a great Borderlands.
We want to bring it back to the player. We want to make sure that the player and the Vault Hunters are the central character of our story.
You are the heroes.
Yes. We want to make sure that the world is reactive, that the world is grounded, that, you know, while we keep our humor, it brings a lot of people coming back to our franchise in the game, we want to make sure it is situational and it emerges naturally. So while we're building these characters, we're always thinking about making sure that they have strong personalities, that they will react differently to different situations, and that we see the effects of that.
Yeah, and whenever we're moving through, we're talking with design and looking at things on the artscape. Whenever we're moving through, we want to make sure that the Vault Hunters are the ones who are engaging and causing some of these things. They're the hero of the story, just like Sam was talking about. We've talked about things like putting Vault Hunters inside cutscenes and cinematics so that you can see them alongside and feel like they're a part of that story too. So a lot of those different things that go into feeling like you are the one who is pushing things along and getting things taken care of instead of being along for a ride.
Let's show some new stuff, some art that you mentioned.
Ooh,
Here
new
is
stuff.
the first shot of concept art from Borderlands 4. Adam,
What's
let's
this?
talk about the art design overall, kind of what we're
This
going
new
for
sanctuary?
here, and
Ooh,
a lot
we
of
got
other
the
things we
snow.
haven't really had a chance to play with too much in the past is some of that.
Oh, yo, hold up.
Technology stuff. And
Are
so
those
as you
loot
can see here,
beams?
we're
Oh,
we're
what
getting
the
to
hell?
see some because this has been such a isolated world. Some of the things that you wouldn't have seen anywhere else in our
Looks
previous
different than where we've been before.
Exactly. It definitely is the most diverse and beautiful game we've ever made. So
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
You can go there and kill that. Right?
You can kill everything. Yeah, yeah.
I can kill everything.
I think what's great also about those shots,
Ava, you're in trouble.
we kind of highlight tech that's been repurposed and kit bashed. I think in BL1, we kind of did a great job of establishing a tech level. And even with that, we're looking at ways how to kind of bend and break some of those tech level rules this time around to continue to kind of find something new and interesting for players to explore.
one of the wonderful problems we have is we have so many great characters. Like we just talked about some of the Vault Hunters. Varnell, go into that. Like the balance between something new and different. And Sam, you could jump in here too, I think, on just striking that, like bringing back old favorites versus new.
No, we're creators. We have, but we're 5 games, big games deep into a franchise, on the main Borderlands line, including pre-sequels and Borderlands 4. Man, it's a great problem to have where we have a ton of characters that we want to spend time with. And by the way, we do incessantly listen to what you guys talk to on the internet and on forums and stuff like that. We listen to all of the characters that you love and the characters you don't love, and we want to do that. But we're also creators. We want to come to the table and we want to add something new to the sauce every time, right?
Absolutely, and with the new planet comes a lot of new characters. In fact, in Borderlands 4, we're trying to focus on new characters and new stories, answering questions about...
Probably a little bit more new than
Yes.
old, because we're in a new planet, a brand new place, right?
I'm cool with that.
This time around, we're focusing on newer characters and telling their stories more clearly and concisely, as opposed to having a massive cast that we have to kind of juggle between all these points. So I'm really excited about kind of that focus this time around. I think the storytelling is going to be much stronger for it.
Do we need to do that again?
No? Okay, so what all did we actually learn from this? First of all, putting together a panel at what appears to be the last possible minute is a terrible idea. I appreciate that they're giving stuff away to the crowd. That's cool. I like that. However, like I said, I kind of feel like the whole thing would have felt a lot better had they led with the Borderlands 4 stuff. But in terms of what we actually learned, we learned that Elpis did get moved by Lilith, which, I mean, we kind of already knew that from the ending of Borderlands 3 and from the trailer that we saw. But what we definitely learned is this is not a multiverse or some weird space-time thing like my dumbass thought, but instead we're actually seeing Elpis tear through a protective veil, or some sort of veil that hides this planet from the rest of the universe so it can't be found. It is in the same universe, so no multiverse nonsense, guys. You don't have to worry about that. They also say that it's a part of space that hasn't been seen for a very long time, and that there is a reason for that, which leads me back to the whole Nereid stuff from Borderlands 3, where she says you must never find the seventh siren. One thing that I thought was huge from this panel is that they said that they are going to focus on kind of like new characters and new stories, but they're still going to like wrap up some loose ends. I've tossed around the phrase soft reboot. I don't think that's really the right phrasing for that after talking to some friends about it. I think it's more of like a moving this forward instead of trying to like wrap up all the possible loose ends that you've ever, you know, come up with. I do think that we're going to get a resolution to the war is coming stuff though. Another huge thing is that they mentioned that our Vault Hunters will actually appear in cutscenes and feel like they're part of the story, and I think that that is huge. That's something that a lot of us have not felt in any of the games, really. Like, our character was genuinely a part of the story. Like, the closest we felt in Borderlands 2 is when we're face to face with Handsome Jack after he kills Roland and kidnaps Lilith, and we just stand there and watch. Or when, you know, Troy phase grasps us while Wainwright's making fun of him and running away. That's about the closest we felt to like being part of the story, it seems. They did show us several pieces of concept art, and I think that this one right here especially is very interesting. You see what appears to be loot beams on the ground, but they don't look like our normal loot beams. Now, this is concept art and not actual in-game footage, so it's weird to see in a piece of concept art loot beams, but notice these loot beams have kind of like a fork that comes off of them. It's not like your standard loot beam. Now, Graham Timmons from Gearbox mentioned that they get to do like some new and different things because this is a location we've never been to, so they can kind of play around with those ideas. Seems very promising because, number one, it seems like they've been listening to the fans. They've heard what we've said. I think that we're going to get dedicated drops at launch. I think that we're going to get raid bosses. I think that we're going to have some better focus on the story like we did with Wonderlands. I hope that we have a really solid villain like we did with Wonderlands, because honestly, the Dragon Lord's the second best villain in the series behind Handsome Jack, in my opinion. So I'm hopeful. Does that mean that it's going to be perfect and that it's going to be great? No, not necessarily, but I'm hopeful. And I know that's a cardinal sin in this day and age to just be hopeful about things, but let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a great day.